Sorry I haven't been posting lately. I think it's been over a month since I last posted, which is so long. I miss you all so much. I hope you all had an amazing holiday on New Year's. Now you are probably wondering where I've been, and the truth is, I have been really depressed and sad over these last few weeks. I posted in the community tab a few weeks ago, so some of you already know, but over the holidays I got into a really bad skiing accident, so I broke and fractured my pelvis in 3 places, and I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. So today's video will be a story time of my journey through my recovery and just explaining about what happened and my Whistler experience. Even though this was the worst Whistler trip ever, I think it was also one of the best. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. That always means so much to me, and I always love to read your wonderful comments. So without further ado, let's get started with this story time. Bear with me, I'm not the best at telling stories. For the past 9 years, me and my parents would always go up to Whistler to stay and enjoy the holidays for about 2 weeks. My parents don't ski, so I'm always up on the slopes by myself, and I don't have any siblings to ski with me either. I'm always alone there, which is a little risky because every year I tend to get stuck while skiing and there is no one to help me. This year in particular, my parents couldn't come with me for the first week because the day before we had to go, my dad had to have a surgery. So I took the bus all by myself, which was the first time I've done that. It wasn't so bad. The bus ride only took about 2 hours. Once we got there, I had to take all my luggage from the bus stop to the hotel, which was really hard because I had like 5 pieces of luggage, including my boot bag, skis, and everything. It was so heavy and so hard to drag it in the snow. I was so lonely in the hotel all by myself, and I was pretty scared for like the first couple of nights, but I knew it was okay. After staying a few days on my own, my friend said she could come and stay with me, but she only stayed for 2 days. But during the 2 days, it was so much fun. We hung out, we walked around the village, we went to the 2 park and the escape room. Even though we didn't ski, it was the best 2 days ever. Throughout all my years skiing at Whistler, this was without a doubt the coldest that I've ever experienced. So now let's get into what happened. I got into the skiing accident on December 19, and it was literally negative 22 degrees. All the signs were telling me not to ski that day, but I knew my Special Olympics coach was going to be up that day, and I was hoping to see him. We didn't make a plan to ski together or anything, so I was just hoping I would see him up on the mountain. I knew the day before that it was gonna be freezing, so I dressed up in so many layers to go. In the place we were staying, there is a bus that takes us directly to the mountain, which is really convenient. That bus comes every 15 minutes. So if I had just missed the bus, then I would have to wait another 15 minutes, which I really didn't want to do. So I would always rush from my hotel to the bus stop, which is a really bad idea because the ground is so icy, and with my ski boots, it was really dangerous. And on that day, I literally slipped on the ice as I was going to the bus stop. This day, it was December 19. I had already skied a couple of runs and I was getting ready for lunch. I was literally about to ski my last run before lunch when my coach saw me. He said that because it was freezing outside, that was his last run, so we decided to ski down together. I decided to follow my coach, so he over, so my coach had a tumble too, and I was just focusing on that, and it all happened so fast. Then I was on the ground with my legs crossed. It was so painful, the worst pain that I've ever felt. I thought I would be able to get up and ski, so my coach helped me get up, and I thought I was fine, so I skied a little bit, but then I almost hit a tree because I couldn't put weight on my right leg, because that's where I landed. I landed on my right hip without putting weight on my leg. It's really impossible to stop, so I couldn't stop, and I was scared. My coach then suggested we walk up the hill to take a gondola down, so I tried to walk a few steps, but then it was just too painful, so I couldn't move. It was then at that point when I said that I need ski patrol to come, because there was no way for me to get down the hill. So my coach called ski patrol and they came really fast. First, someone came to assess my situation, and then she called for some backup. We then waited for a while, and then someone with a toboggan came and finally took me down the hill. It was a painful ride. I thought it would be really fun, but no, it was so painful. The ride took forever, and I thought I would be able to enjoy the view, but I literally couldn't see anything because snow was spraying all over my face. Luckily I had goggles. When we finally got to the bottom, there was a transport vehicle waiting for me. I literally couldn't get up from the toboggan, so I had to be carried into the truck, and the height of the truck was so high. It was really painful getting in and out of the truck. My coach came with me to the Whistler clinic, so he carried me off of the truck and into a wheelchair, which I'm so thankful for my coach for. I got checked in, waited for a while, and then they finally brought me to a room where they did an x-ray, and then I waited some more. I don't really like to show pain, so originally when I came in, the doctors didn't think my bone was broken, but after they saw the x-ray, they said I had fractures on my pelvis. The doctor said I didn't have to have surgery and it's gonna recover on its own, so he gave me two options. He said I could either go home with some pain meds and recover at home, or be transferred to another hospital, because Whistler Clinic, it's only daytime and they don't admit overnight patients. Since I was alone at Whistler and my parents were back home in Surrey about 2 hours away, I couldn't take care of myself. So I talked to my mom and my coach, and they suggested that I be transferred to a hospital where they could take care of me. So that's what the doctor did. The doctor decided to transfer me to Squamish General Hospital. They transported me there by ambulance, so I had to wait a few hours, and then the ambulance finally came and took me there. The ride was only about 45 minutes, and that was the first time that I went into an ambulance, and little did I know that it wasn't the last time. I was at Squamish Hospital for a few days, and then the doctor wanted me to get a CT scan, and they didn't have a CT scan at Squamish, so they brought me by ambulance to Lionsgate Hospital to get a CT scan, where I was stranded because of a snowstorm. They originally wanted me to come back to Squamish after the CT scan at Lionsgate, and I thought I would be in and out really quick, so I didn't bother bringing my phone or anything. So I was so bored, and I couldn't even call my parents to let them know of my situation or anything. I was literally alone. I was at Lionsgate for about 24 hours, and then they finally found to skirmish after midnight, so it was Christmas Day and it was really hard spending that time in the hospital. Luckily, my parents had gone to Whistler to spend the remaining days, so they were able to visit me on Christmas Day. And the nurses and doctors were amazing. They gave me a box of chocolates, which really made my stay there a whole lot better. After 8 days at skirmish, they decided to transfer me back closer to home. The hospital that's closest to home for me really didn't have space for me, so I had to wait. And after they found space for me, it was really hard for the nurses at skirmish to find me a transport. The nurses were amazing at finding me a transport, even though it was really hard to find one. They were so determined. And I was finally transported by ambulance closer to my home in Surrey. The ambulance ride was the most painful that I've ever felt. It took about an hour to get there. I was in Surrey Memorial Hospital for about 4 days, and I had student nurses take care of me. I love student nurses so much. They always have so much passion and enthusiasm. When I was discharged from the hospital, I needed a walker to get around because I couldn't walk. When I was in the hospital, I saw physio, so they helped me learn some exercises that would help me recover faster. I was released from the hospital on New Year's Eve, so at least I got to spend New Year's Day at home. I was still in quite a lot of pain when I left. My pain has settled down now, but I still cannot walk. The doctor said that it's gonna take about 3 months for me to fully recover. That is such a long time, but I'm grateful for every day I get better. I was really hoping that I'll get better by February, because when I was skiing at Whistler, I was training so hard to compete at the Provincial Games for Special Olympics coming up at the beginning of February. It is February 2nd to 4th, and I really want to go, but now since I can't walk, I don't think I can ski. I qualified for this Provincial Games last year when I competed at the qualifiers. I was really hoping that I could qualify for the Provincial Games to move on to Nationals and then the World Games, which will be held in Italy. I went to my first World Games for Special Olympics in 2017, and we went to Austria where I got a bronze medal and a 4th place, and that was something to remember. It was so special that I'll never forget. Now the next qualifiers will be in 3 years and the next provincials will be in 4 years, so I have to wait a long time, but at least I can get more training in. I'm really sad that this time I couldn't attend with my team. I also started school a few weeks ago. It's really tough getting around campus with my walker, and lots of people love to stare, which is really awkward for me because I don't like people looking at me. My teachers and classmates have been so supportive of me, which I'm so grateful for, and in a few days I'm going to start my observation in schools. If you didn't know, I'm in the PTP program, learning to become a teacher, and in my school experiences, I'll be in a kindergarten classroom, which I'm so excited for, but since I'm using a walker, it's gonna be really hard getting around. Throughout this experience, I have learned to be more appreciative and grateful for everyday life and just in general. This has been the longest story time ever, and I see that my camera is about to die. So let me know what you think of this story time, and if you want more, just feel free to comment down below because I have lots of stories to tell. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you guys in the next video.